Senior Special Assistant on Media to former President Muhammadu Buhari, Garba Shehu, unveils a book titled, According to the President, Lessons from a Presidential Spokesperson's Experience. The book, authored by him, offers insights into his experiences as the presidential spokesperson and reflects on Nigeria's political landscape during his tenure.
As Buhari's agent, I had been sent a number of times to Bola Ahmed Tinubu to find explanations, to find support for some of our communication issues. Because then, and I believe up to today, President Tinubu has this country's biggest media assets, and he has never failed to come to our aid.
The former secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustapha, said President Buhari's 2015 election victory was not influenced by Bola Tinubu and his Action Congress of Nigeria (ACN) wing of the All Progressives Congress. He claimed that the merger of CPC, ACM, ANPP and APGA only added about 3 million votes for Buhari's already existing 12 million votes, which he had already secured in the north, summing it up to 15 million votes.
When you sum up the total votes that gave us the presidency in 2015, the aggregate of the total votes were 15.4 million votes. So basically, what we brought to the table, the other parties that were in the merger, in addition to Buhari's 12.2 million votes, were 3.2 million votes.
President Bola Tinubu, represented at the event by George Akume, the secretary to the government, stated that Buhari's administration made a sincere effort to reposition Nigeria for a more resilient future.
From the restoration of fiscal discipline to the diversification of the economy, from the development of our critical national infrastructure to the transformation of our rail and road networks, and from the expansion of social investment programs to the repositioning of the agricultural sector, President Buhari's era reflected an earnest attempt to reposition Nigeria to future resilience.
Also, former military head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, and other leaders commended Buhari, stating that in his 8 years, the former president had made every effort to address Nigeria's challenges.
As Nigerians, we must wholeheartedly support our armed forces, and as they risk their lives to keep us alive, we must not allow insurgency or insecurity to threaten the corporate existence of our nation.
The job of the Vice President is possibly the most difficult in the world. It was His Excellency Umar Ganduje, former chairman of the APC, in his famous work, Deputizing, who humorously describes the conundrum that deputies face. And he once said to me, he said, when you're a deputy or vice, you're in a difficult position. And then he would pause, like a great storyteller that he is, and then say, every action you take is likely to be misinterpreted, not necessarily by your boss, but by the numerous people around you.
Many say that the book by Garba Shehu remains an important contribution to Nigeria's political literature, a viable source of information. The book launch held at the Shehu Musa Yaradua Center in Abuja was a convergence of who is who in the nation's political space. Dorothea Okodga, reporting for VOS TV News, Benin.